Hi everybody, my name is Oliko and I'm here to talk to you about books, so welcome to this experience. In view of the forthcoming Man Booker Prize 2018 winner announcement, which will happen tomorrow, the 16th of October, I thought I would share with you my opinion about the shortlist, the 6 books which are nominated for the prize this year. So let's do it. The first book I picked up was Daisy Johnson and Her Everything Under. This is a retale of a classic Greek tragedy, and that was a huge spoiler for me because I read a lot of Greek tragedies when I was younger, so I knew pretty early on what was going on. This is a book about dysfunctional families, and sadly it's more depressing than dysfunctional. It is atmospheric, it is dark, it is eerie, it is sometimes confusing, often heartbreaking. In the end though, everything falls into place. You will know what happened. But if you know the answer to the question, who is Bonak and what happened to him, please do share, because I have no idea and I would like to know. So the second book I picked up was The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner, and when I finished reading it, I was speechless. I was so shocked and full of emotions about this book. I couldn't put into words what my thoughts were. And it's still hard for me to talk about it because this is such a moving book. It's about life in America, it's about being female, it's about being poor, and ultimately it's about life in prison. And it's told pretty honestly and with no prettification. And this is a book which will for sure move you. And this book is one of my favorites from the shortlist, and I hope that it will get the prize. The third book I picked up was Washington Black by S.A. Dugan. This was such a great read. It's a great epic story, an adventure. It's fast-paced, it has a great narrative, a potpourri of characters, a lot of events, a lot of travels, and a hint of magic. It reminded me of old-school adventure novels by Mark Twain, and it was such a good read. I recommended it to a lot of people already, so this was one of my favorites for sure. The fourth book I picked up was The Long Take by Robin Robertson, and this is a book of poetry. This is a novel in verse, and it was unusual experience. I read it in one go. It is recommended that you read it in one go, and it is described as film noir, told in verse, which it is. And this is a book about destructive nature of men, of war, of nations, and how the veterans are treated after they return from war, and it paints a very sad and devastating picture. I know why I should love it, but I don't. It left me a bit disappointed. The fifth book I read was The Overstory by Richard Powers. This is the longest and the most ambitious book on this year's shortlist. It is an epic. It was pretty difficult to read, even though I thought I would enjoy it enormously. It's about ecology, it's about deforestation of our planet, and it's about a small, very small number of people who at one point tried to save our planet from deforestation and what happened after. It's a sad book, and sadly, I didn't enjoy it. And the last book I picked up was this one, Milkman by Anna Burns. It is pretty hard to describe this book. It's very unusual. It took me about 100 pages to get what is happening and what is going on, because I never read the description. I never read description of the books. I never read any reviews before I start the book, or at least I try not to. And it took me about 100 pages to realize that this book is about Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland in 1970s, and you know, the conflicts, the religious and political conflicts there. And while you might think, oh, okay, this is not my cup of tea, I urge you to try to read it, and it's only when you finish it you realize what an interesting, unusual, revealing book this is. It is confusing and scary, and it has a heart full of black humor. It's an unusual experience, and this is my third favorite. So looking back at the shortlist, my absolute favorites are The Mars Room and Washington Black. I also really enjoyed The Milkman, but it is stranger than these two. And my least favorite book from the shortlist is The Overstory by Richard Powers. So there you have it, the 6 books which are nominated this year for the Man Booker Prize. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I inspired you to read 1 or 2 books, or maybe the whole shortlist. I've never read the whole shortlist before, and it was an interesting experience. I was rushing through the shortlist during the past 2 weeks, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope you will too. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will come back and watch more videos that I'm going to upload. And if you like, subscribe and do the usual thing. And anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.